Welcome to Cluedunnit, the podcast where we make wild guesses about fake TV crimes.
And discover real facts about the amazing people who brought the shows to life. I'm Jessica, IMDb maven, and the person who reads everything in the theater program.
And I'm Jacob, writer, producer, and senior lead detective, Logic Cop Investigations. Each week, we watch a show and try to immediately guess whodunit, without any clues, context, or apparently accuracy.
Then we spoil everything. We not only tell you who did it, but also who made it. All right, let's find out.
Who was right?
Who was wrong?
And who is dead? Zero evidence, zero knowledge, zero skills, and, zero wins at this point. No, that is not true.
That's true.
I have one win.
Right.
I have one win, and you
There
have
is
zero.
one.
There's one. We have one win.
But anyway,
In
so
any event, today, who are we watching today?
We
what are we
are
guessing
watching
about today?
Veronica Mars.
Yes, right. We're going back to the aughts, people. 2003. What?
Season 3, episode 11.
The mighty UPN. Actually, we learned researching this that it started on UPN, but by season 3, the UPN was dead, and it was the CW.
Oh.
So yes, Veronica Mars. Jessica, tell us about Veronica Mars.
After her best friend is murdered and her father is removed as county sheriff, Veronica Mars dedicates her life to cracking the toughest mysteries in the affluent town of Neptune.
It's really weird. I have to admit, the weirdest thing about this to me is that somehow Arendelle is located in Neptune. Like, that's the thing that gets me the most. Like, I don't understand how that works. Like, mountain northern European kingdom somehow in a California coastal town. I don't understand it at all.
Is that what Arendelle means?
No, Arendelle doesn't mean that. I'm making a Kristen Bell joke. That's all there is. Right there. That's all I'm going for there. At any event,
I'm such a bad sci-fi fan because I was like, what are you talking about, Lord of the Rings? I'm confused. And then,
I don't know if that makes you a bad sci-fi fan or a really, really good sci-fi fan. Anyway,
just a bad Disney fan, apparently.
Maybe that's what it is. Bad Disney fan. No, you are watching Veronica Mars now.
Okay, so if you've been living under a rock, this is a crime drama mystery show. But by the way, Veronica Mars is a high school student.
Yes, high school student. Kristen Bell, high school student.
This is not mentioned in the log line.
It's also
very
not even,
important,
it's
though.
not even sure. Is she a senior in high school at this point? I don't think they could make her, because she's been in high school at least a year. So, and I really don't think they could possibly make her a sophomore.
Yeah,
so
I guess.
I don't know. She's got to be at least a junior or a senior. I hope they made her a senior, because I'm here to tell you, people, they do run into that whole thing where it's just like, oh my goodness gracious, you are not high school students. You're trying to do the best you can, but you are not high schoolies.
Yeah. So we'll see in season 3 what school she's at, where she is, because she could be at San Diego.
Yeah, she could have moved on to college or something like that. But yeah, so the whole engine of the show is from week to week, she investigates mysteries, not necessarily murders, because if there's not that many murders going on in this coastal town of Neptune, but they investigate some kind of mystery, whether that has to do, lately they've, at the beginning of season 1, which is mainly what we watched to prep for this, there was a lot of high school class mysteries. There's this long-running series mystery of who killed her best friend Lily. It is Lily, right? Lily's her best friend. So who killed her best friend Lily?
Why has her mom disappeared?
And why has her mom disappeared?
Not Lily's mom, Veronica Mars.
Veronica Mars, wrong. Yes, because Veronica and Lily were best friends, and Veronica was dating Lily's brother, and they were all really tight, and then Lily died. And Veronica's father, the sheriff, thinks that Lily's father, a very, very rich software magnate, actually killed his daughter. They don't know why. He wasn't able to prove it. He was ousted as sheriff, and so suddenly Veronica went from being one of the cool, popular, powerful, rich girls to just being this nobody on the edges of everything. Lucifer, we talked about Lucifer made everything very candy-coated and bright and vibrant and sexy looking. Veronica Mars, everything wants to look very noirish. They really were keying into a very kind of saturated noir, all the lights coming in at angles, and there's lots of weird colors, and everything is just a little bit dark. This is not the OC.
You're right.
No.
And it's funny, though, because I do spend a lot of time at the beach. And it definitely has a feel of Santa Monica or Venice. but it's Neptune, which you're saying is somewhere in the middle of California.
Yeah, I think
coast.
it's supposed to be somewhere vaguely between like Santa Barbara to Carmel, like somewhere in Central Coast-ish. Yeah. Anyways, the point is she solves mysteries. If only she could solve the mystery of who killed her best friend and framed her dad.
But we're not sure that that's going to be even an issue in this season.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's happening there, but we don't know. We've only watched episodes from season 1.
Their podcast.
Oh yeah, don't add us. Don't add us. So what episode are we watching?
So yeah, we're watching episode 11 of season 3, and it is called Poughkeepsie, Tramps and Thieves.
Poughkeepsie, Tramps and Thieves.
Ha ha ha.
Is that a?
It's a Cher song.
Is that what it is?
Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves.
Thank you. I knew it was a 70s song.
That was not a good
That was beautiful.
melody.
It was beautiful. I was thinking it was Tom Waits, so I'm glad you said it was Cher, and now the idea of like...
Oh, maybe he covered it, but
No. I
Cher.
don't think he did, but I love that. I'm now in my brain, I've got this like
it's
either
actually
Cher...
my favorite song
Is
in
it
her
really?
concert.
Really?
Yeah, I loved that song. I loved everything they did with the set. And it was probably the most basic of her concert numbers. You know, apparently too, I found out because I went to the concert with, I mean, I think I've been to the concert. I went to the concert in Vegas.
Yeah,
a couple
her residency
of times,
at Caesars. Yeah,
and
without me, by the way, gentle public. I want to let everybody know this. She went without me.
And I brought these two guys from Texas
who
were in our call center. And I didn't know until like afterwards, I think they were like, oh yeah. Well, at least one of them was like, oh yeah, I've seen her like 100 times. Cause I was like, what? And they were like, oh yeah, all of her, final concerts. Cause she was known for that, right? This is my final
my final tour.
My final tour. So yeah, I was saying how I love the Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, and he was like, "Oh, they've been doing it that way from the beginning." Yeah.
So we are in season 3, episode 11. This Poughkeepsie, Tramps, and Thieves is the name of this.
Yes.
Give me the logline.
So the logline is Veronica helps a friend to find the girl he thinks is the one, which he had but lost. But finding her only leads to trouble.
Ooh, only leads to... And we're sure there's a murder in this one? No is the short answer.
We are not sure.
Okay,
but so there's going to be a villain.
There's going to be a villain. So this
perpetrators.
A perp. There's going to be a perp. So maybe we just guess the bad guy, people. Maybe we just guess the bad guy. Maybe there's not a murder in
some
this.
of these shows on our list, I think we're just going to be trying to figure out the perp.
Again, people, don't add us. This is not... we're not really true crime. Is there anything else we need to know before we get into this episode? Jessica has been practicing all week, by the way, people. Like, she has been, like, watching random TV shows and, like, just pausing and guessing and then, like, going back and looking at and, like, you should see the bulletin board of, like, all the yarn on it. Like, if this happens, then this means this. And if this happens, then this means she is
You would
she
not
is
think there is so much going on in Schitt's Creek, but there really is.
Oh, my goodness. Now that is a podcast we should do. The true crime of Schitt's Creek. How dirty was Roland shit? All right. Well, we're going to tell if we can find out who the bad guys are. We'll be back with our guesses.
Woo.
Okay, guess what? We have a murder. There is in fact a murder. It happened in a previous episode, so we're not sure they're going to solve it this episode. It might be like
pretty sure it's a season arc thing.
I don't know if it's a season arc thing, but I mean, yes, it clearly, obviously, is going over multiple episodes, so we don't know if they're going to solve it this episode, but we're still going to guess for that murder.
Oh, we are?
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. We're absolutely going to guess for that, just in case they solve it this episode. I want to be Johnny on the spot with my guesses.
Okay.
If they don't solve it, maybe we'll skip ahead and just like look it up online and see if we're right anyways. But we're definitely going to guess on that murder. But there is also another mystery that the case of the week is also out there. But first I have to get over a little bit of whiplash here. Let's orient ourselves a little bit here, because as we were guessing about, we didn't know exactly what year Veronica Mars was in high school. Well, it turns out that she is now in college.
Yes.
Does she get to college in year 2? or does it start in year 3? It feels, I don't know. We'll find out later on. The problem with guessing so much is that you can't look these things up, because once you start looking these things up, like, there's spoilers everywhere. Oh, which, by the way, yes, everybody, spoilers. We're absolutely going to ruin this episode for you at a certain point. So you've been warned, I guess. So yes, so A, she's in college, Hearst College.
Yeah.
But no, with Hearst Castle, again, I think they really are trying to put this somewhere in the Central Coast.
Sure.
She's not buying it, ladies and gentlemen. I can see the look in her eyes. I don't care. I'm sticking with it. So she's at Hearst College. She's dating Logan. Lily, like, keep in mind, people, we've seen 4 episodes of season 1 right now. As far as we know, Logan is still a douchebag who used to date Lily. But now apparently Veronica and Logan are together, and like they're a long-standing thing. Who knew?
I'm really having problems with this name Logan too.
Why is that?
Because Gilmore Girls, in the final seasons, Rory is dating a Logan, and everybody, when they watch the show, when they get to the Logan years, is like, bleh.
It's the Logan years.
And I admit I did pretty much
you
pause.
hated Logan. You hated Logan.
Yeah, you're right. I did. I disliked him. Now he is not so reprehensible, but still having a hard time getting through the show. But it's not, I mean, the end of it. And
right.
It's not because of what. I think it's just been going for a lot of time.
Yeah,
anyway,
we're not talking about Gilmore Girls. There are no
Girls.
Mysteries on Gilmore Girls except who does her hair. It's fabulous. No, well, actually, her hair on this show, too, is fabulous. It's just, what's going on with TV? Why are people's hair so perfect in TV? It's like they want people to look good on TV. I don't understand it. What's going on?
I have to admit, I'm staring at Veronica Mars, her ponytail with her bangs. I'm like, how's that bang situation working?
How'd you do that? Because this is year 15. No, this is month 15 of the pandemic, people.
Yeah, well, I cut my bangs at 2:00 in the morning a couple of months back, based on some Instagram videos that I had watched.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. Obviously, but
ladies
I was
and gentlemen,
like,
for the
I know
record, her
enough
hair
now
looks great.
that I could kind of figure this out. So now I have no bangs. I just side sweep my hair because the bang situation is bad.
Okay, but Veronica Mars is good.
Hers looks so cute. And I really wish. But her, it's funny because when in the first season, they do so many flashbacks.
Yeah.
And her hair constantly looks different. But even in the episode, in like present tense, like day to day, her hair looks completely different.
Yeah, they have a lot of things going. Like
sometimes it's like a shaggy.
Sometimes it's shaggy. Sometimes it's braided. Sometimes it's back.
Yes.
They do a lot
like
with her
scene
hair.
to scene, it's completely different. It's bonkers.
Yeah. What else is bonkers is the fact that this episode starts out with Logan and Veronica sharing French fries. And I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. I had a hard time telling Logan from her ex-boyfriend,
we were like, which
Jake,
white guy is this?
Yeah, which doofus-looking white guy is this one? Who is this? What's happening? So anyway, she's dating Logan.
This is how high school teachers feel. Like, which doofus white kid is this?
Which doofus white kid are you? Logan, fine. Logan, you're one of 10 I have. Like, I think Logan is like the second most popular name behind Jacob for like kids of a certain age. Jacob,
are you serious?
Logan was such a popular name for a long time.
Really? I had never heard of Logan no.
Until
Gilmore Girls, and now it's in
maybe it was
just
the hot TV name from the aughts.
Yeah, must be.
Somebody add us with another few more hot Logan TV characters.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Logan and Veronica are dating. Somebody has been egging people on campus and intimidating them. The campus newspaper is all riled up about it. And Weevil's back. The least scary motorcycle gang member ever is back. He works at maintenance at the college, and he says it's a real shame that they also egged the dean's house. And that's our first murder, ladies and gentlemen.
And that is not in the paper, in the school paper. They did not report the dean's egging. And we also know from the previously on Veronica Mars, we know that the wife of the dean, who is a very young woman compared to Ed Begley Jr.
You know what? Now that you mention it, yes, absolutely. Because Ed Begley Jr.
he's a very mature man.
Yes, and she was not a very mature lady. But again, TV. What else is new?
Yeah. So she goes to Veronica Mars' dad, because he's a private investigator, and, or like really
he's
a private investigator.
He used to be sheriff, now he's private
Yeah.
investigator. Sure.
And she goes to him because she's like, my husband did not commit suicide, because that's the official story.
Right.
And so Keith, the PI, Veronica Mars' dad, Keith Mars, is looking into it.
Right. Okay. So that's our first murder. Mm-hmm. But then we get to the case of the week, which is... we're meant to know who this guy is. I don't know who this guy is.
Well, he definitely has been in some other episodes.
Yeah, he's clear. Like, they clearly have a relationship. They clearly know each other.
I'm definitely going to look this actor up because he looks familiar.
So this actor, this character is a cheater. He supplies like answer keys to tests and papers and all these things.
Yeah, lots of papers.
And Veronica throws some shade at him, but he's like, whatever, it's a living. So he is asking he asks Veronica's help to track down the love of his life. Only he doesn't know her name. He knows that she's from Poughkeepsie, but he doesn't know her name, doesn't know her last name. He has a phone number for her. They met at Comic-Con and spent all night, staying up all night and really connecting on a very deep level.
Yeah, and supposedly he took her to the airport in the morning, and she left a note on the table for him. But when he got back to the hotel,
that had all of her contact information.
Yeah, and when he got back to the hotel, housekeeping had already thrown it out. So he never saw the note.
Yeah, he never saw the note. He never got the information. And then so he doesn't know this woman's name, doesn't know where she is.
He knows her first name.
And
she was dressed in very normal clothes. So it's not like they could be like, where's the lady Klingon?
Right, yes.
Does anybody recognize her from the pictures?
There, by the way, lots of shade thrown at nerds in this episode, which I think is all in good fun because I think Rob Thomas is a big nerd himself. But anyways, the love of his life texted him saying that she was sick and tired of waiting for him to call. She was getting back together with his ex. They were getting married. So yes, her ex. So they were going to get married. And so now he is coming to Veronica Mars to be like, you have to find out who this person is and where she's getting married and when, so that I can break up the wedding and true love can triumph.
Yeah. And it also sounds weird and suspicious because his roommate deleted the text.
Yes, his roommate deleted the text. He still has the phone number. We don't know how. We don't know how he has the phone number. That's when we stopped. That's when we stopped watching. But they do have a phone number. They do have a first name. What's going to happen? So there you go. Those are our two mysteries. That's what we're guessing on. We got a mystery of the week with the girlfriend, and then we're just going to throw in. I mean, all we know about this murder is literally what we saw in previously.
Egging suicide.
Not suicide. Right. So we're just going to throw some guesses in there.
And everyone thinks that he's a nice guy.
Everyone is very, very, very much. Not in awe, but everyone, he's the dean. He's a stand-up guy. So there you go. That's where we're at. What have we got? Heard, what have you got?
Okay, so I am going to say it was a stupid college move to leave all your information on a hotel room piece of paper. And so I'm making this up, right?
Yeah,
these are just wild guesses.
These are wild-ass guesses.
But the thing is, I mean, I guess they could be going for the fact that these are just dumb people who don't know how hotel rooms work. Like, why wouldn't she just give him? Why did she say why she didn't just give him?
Why didn't they just?
This is
the era of cell phones. Why they didn't just exchange text numbers right there?
And why
she clearly knows his.
Yeah, and if she could have called him.
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't call her. Whatever, call him. I think it was a stupid move of hers to leave a note for him in the hotel room. Oh, and we know from the story logline that it says that he learned something else. What does it say? It says Veronica helps a friend to find the girl he thinks is the one, but has lost. But finding her only leads to trouble.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I don't think that she was. Oh. Maybe
there
she was shaking him down. They were having all these big thoughts, but maybe she was shaking him down for some reason. I think that the text that he got, which he thought was from her, I think that it was not from her.
Oh.
I think that in the story of like, I'm waiting to hear from you, is and I'm gonna get together with my ex and marry him or that person. I think that was from a fake. I don't think that was actually from her.
Interesting.
And leads to trouble. So I don't think she's maybe in serious trouble. Like, I wonder if we're going to find her and she's just going to be sitting there like, I'm fine. No big here. No big deal here. And she's going to be, and it's like Poughkeepsie, Tramps, and Thieves. Oh, she also lives in Poughkeepsie, which is notably like Vassar.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Vassar. You're not wrong.
And nothing else but Vassar. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's industry.
We've been
Vassar.
to Poughkeepsie.
We have, and that's what I'm trying to remember. It just looked like a lot of like fields and farms to me.
It was very Hudson Valley.
Yeah, very. And Tramps and Thieves. Yeah, that's why I think that she is. I think she was shaking him down, and I think that somehow people got the numbers off her phone, and this is going to be a morality tale of letting people see your contact info and saving contact information on your phone. Young people, finger wag. Keep that shit safe.
Okay, so finger wag. So she's going to get shaken down.
Actually, the show has no moral of the story. There's really none of that in this show, I feel like. So I can take that back.
Okay.
But it's funny. Like, I feel like iZombie has high morality to it. I feel like that show really is like talking about like love. What is love? What is it? And when I say self-love, I don't mean masturbation. I mean like loving yourself, what it means
acceptance,
to
self-acceptance, what it means to be what it means to be.
I feel like that's
roll with the punches in life.
I feel like that's a strong, like they really hit that hard. I don't feel like that in Veronica Mars. So
it was very noir. I mean, Veronica Mars was meant to be kind of a noir, which is like famously no morals. Like there's not a moral center to the universe.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, it turns out that this chick is fine. I think that she is maybe a grifter of some sort, but even so, somebody else got a hold of her phone and had the contact list and texted him. Although you would think that would be like money, a call for money or something, or but that would have been more obvious. And he says every time he calls, a dude answers the phone. So yeah, I think somebody else has his phone and has her phone and her contacts. I think it's a bunch of fancy Vassar kids that are doing some sort of technology thing on the phones.
Some technology thing on the phones from fancy Vassar kids.
Yeah.
That's some fancy technology thing from Vassar kids.
And I bet they're all like, is this jerky? I don't know. I think they're all slumming it too. Is that they're all acting like they're like hippies and kickback and like they're just trying to figure out computers, man. We're just keeping our eyes open. Although Vassar is a ladies' college, so maybe it's a bunch of women who are running a ring of sorts. It only leads to trouble. Okay, yeah, I'm changing it. I'm taking a thing. I bet it's a sorority.
All right. Sorority on campus or at Vassar.
At Vassar.
A Vassar sorority.
They have taken the girl's phone, and when they found out that she was like super nerdy, they took her phone and then they're doing some tramping, thieving things.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to go with. I think that the Comic-Con situation is going to spiral out more. Now, I know none of this is going to happen. I'm totally losing this guess. None of this is
This is all
true.
wild ass guesses. We've done.
I'm making too much sense of things that have zero to do with anything.
Yeah, we have 36 minutes left in this show, people. So here's my.
You go.
So here's my thing. I think. I love your idea of Vassar con artists. I think that is noble, but I love it, and I think Tramps are definitely in there. The one thing that I'm keying on is that they made so much hay. They had there were lots of lots of jokes about nerds. Dave
Yes,
Gibbons,
so much.
So like the whole plot about Dave Gibbons. So Dave Gibbons, his whole reason for going to Comic-Con was Dave Gibbons was writing a comic and illustrating it as well. Dave Gibbons, in case you don't know or had your nerd card revoked, is one half of the team that did The Watchmen. Alan Moore wrote it. Dave Gibbons drew it. So
yes, I did not know
that.
I thought they made it up for
that's a deep nerd cut right there. So, but he went there for Dave Gibbons, but then he kind of sidled into the Cylon Battlestar Galactica. And then there were lots of Battlestar Galactica jokes. Now, the cool thing about Battlestar Galactica, which, by the way, also never seen, but the thing about Battlestar Galactica, the reboot, is that the Cylons, the evil robots, were indistinguishable from humans. That was there was the old robots, but the Cylons were indistinguishable. So you didn't know if they were real or not.
So she was a Cylon.
So I don't know that
Did they make that joke?
Clearly she was not a Cylon. They didn't make that joke. They did make a frack joke. They did.
Yes.
She did make a joke. So yeah, and then you fracked. So I think a lot of that is pointing to the fact that there is something nefarious going on with her. I mean,
but she wasn't wearing a costume at Comic-Con.
Right. She wasn't wearing a costume at Comic-Con.
You pretty much what I mean. Well,
he wasn't wearing a costume there either.
That's true.
And I think they're trying to say it. But I guess, so what I'm trying to think of is clearly there's some kind of, I think you're right. I think there's definitely some kind of imposter thing happening here. And it's just, who is the imposter behind it? Who is the imposter behind it, and what is happening, and how are they trying to shake him down for this? So I agree with you. Like, I definitely think that there's some gypsies, I mean, Poughkeepsie, Tramps, and Thieves. I don't know why, Poughkeepsie is the name of the song, right?
No. It's gypsies.
It's gypsies, tramps and thieves in the song. So
this twist in this episode.
So this is the thing. Like, I don't think that they're actually going to do anything with, simply because it's just too far away.
Yeah, it is super far away from California. It is just too far away from California. And just to say Poughkeepsie is fun. So it's like saying Cleveland. People say Cleveland, and everyone's like, ha, ha, ha.
There's a K sound.
Yes, the K sound.
It's the K sound. Cleveland, Poughkeepsie, all that.
The P and the K.
Yeah, Poughkeepsie. I just lost all meaning. So what is gonna? So I'm trying to think of some kind of like fun little Cylon twist that they can put on this. That they're like, how could she pretend to be what she wasn't pretending to be? They've already done the transgender reveal twist. They did that in the first season. So I don't think they're gonna do that again. I don't think they'd go back to that well. But again, clearly this is some kind of Cylon thing going on. And I wonder, like, is his roommate in on the con? Like, is his roommate trying to con him out of this? This guy, we know that he has money for a college student. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's attached to some rich family or anything like that. Like, he's just got a really good college job is what it comes down to.
He's got a hustle.
He's got a side hustle. He's got a college side hustle. He's not doing no work study. He's doing work so you don't have to study.
Why are you even calling it a job? I'm so, weirded out by you calling this a job. Like, as if he has health insurance for writing other people's papers.
Okay, here we go. Dave Gibbons. Okay, here we go. I bet that he got some kind of memorabilia at the San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh.
I bet that he got something with like some kind of Dave Gibbons thing, some kind of first edition, some kind of signed copy of something. And she knew about it. And she's in trouble. And so she is like, she's trying to offer up things to people just to get some money and get her out of trouble. So and that's why, like, the phone number some guy always answers. Clearly there's some kind of blackmail happening here. Like, I don't think they're trying to con him. Like, you think that the Vassar gang are trying to con him. I don't think they're trying to con him. I think that she is being blackmailed, and maybe she's reaching out and trying to figure out how to get this Dave Gibbons one-of-a-kind first edition mint, and just trying to get the money from that. So I think she is being blackmailed, and she's trying to get him somehow to get this Dave Gibbons thing. And of course she misses him, but she's just reaching out because she needs some money for the blackmail. So yeah, I think she's being blackmailed. I think the Dave Gibbons thing is going to come back in here. Who do I think is blackmailing her? I think her ex-boyfriend is blackmailing her, and he is going to come to her rescue, and they're somehow going to sell a Dave Gibbons thing and get some money, and that is how they're going to get her out of all this, or he's going to have to lose that. But I think that definitely there is some Cylon-y things happening here with, like, she's definitely not going to be who she said she was. I mean, that is just obvious. Like, she's definitely not going to be who she said she was. He's going to have to decide whether or not he really does love her, even though she lied to him, whether he really does love her enough to sell this Dave Gibbons thing and get some money and help her out of her jam, or whatever trouble that she's in. That's what I think is going on. That's where I'm going.
That makes a lot of sense, and
I know too much
bet you're
sense.
Gonna win.
It's too much sense. It makes too much sense, and I'm grasping at straws. So I don't think it has anything to do with anything.
It makes a lot of sense.
All right,
that sounds good to me.
Okay, what we also have though is we have a murder on the background, which we literally know nothing about. We know his windows were egged. We know the wife thinks it was murder. Everyone else calls it suicide. And that Weevil held the dean in high esteem for whatever reason.
Yeah.
All right. I get to go first this time. You went first on the last time, so I'm not gonna put you on the spot. But here we go. Johnny Carson style, envelope to forehead. Who do I think did it? What do I have to say about this? I say it was sausage farmers in Sausalito.
Oh, because that's how we're doing this?
I got nothing else to go on. I'm literally just saying it was sausage farmers in Sausalito. They were upset. He was trying to Ed Begley Jr. Electric cars and environmentalism. I think he was trying to make the campus go vegetarian, and he was trying to reduce its ecological footprint. He was trying to make it go vegetarian and give extra parking spaces to hybrid cars at that point in time. So people were upset about that, notably the sausage farmers of Sausalito, and they struck back. There was an argument, and he got whacked. That's what I think. The sausage farmers of Sausalito.
Yeah, and this is all couched in a, like, Greek thing, apparently.
Yeah, there's something going on with some kind of, like, a Greek. The Greeks were, like, kicked off campus and then reinstated.
And he had reinstated them, and then he got egged.
Yeah.
And all these other places got egged.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe his toga tailor. So, okay, I'm either the sausage farmers of Sausalito or the toga tailors. I think the toga tailors were upset with him taking away their business.
I don't think it's sausage people in Sausalito, but I like this environmentalism, vegetarianism, veganism.
I mean, it's clearly the reason. I don't know why you're even guessing. I clearly have nailed this down.
Oh, I'm just gonna go with what my first thought was.
Yep,
that's the best way to do it. Super boring.
Nope, it's the best way to do it.
I think it's the admissions director.
Ooh.
Who has it out for the dean, and it has nothing to do with the dean being the dean. It's just that at another college, the dean and the admissions director had been a student and not an admissions person, and he had been a professor, and now he is at this school, and this person who was his student and that he'd had an affair with is now the admissions director, and he is now married to a very young wife. Or now he's dead.
Yeah, now he's dead, but he was married to a very young wife, yes.
Yeah, and so I think the admissions director is upset and angry, and he rebuffed her and her, like,
jilted lover out for revenge.
And she killed him.
All right. I like that. I like the whole jilted lover in the admissions department. I dig it. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to watch the rest of the episode. We'll be back and tell you how it goes. All right. Oh my gosh, here we are. We're back, and we know everything. We're about to spoil everything. If you're still listening, I'm not even going to bother giving you a spoiler warning, because here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna take some thinking. This is going to take some thinking because we both got key elements of these things right, but neither of us were absolutely anywhere close. So should we just say we just got it wrong? We should just say we got it wrong. Ah, man.
I mean, we can give ourselves like some percentage points.
No. There are no moral victories. There are no moral victories.
All right. Okay. So Let's hear a summary.
Here's what happened. So Veronica Mars decides, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop again before I get even into this because, again, I am just always shocked at just how fast a network TV show has to go. It's just 44 minutes, and my goodness, there are twists and turns and reversals every scene in the show.
You're a writer.
I know, but I'm just like, I guess I'm just Rob Thomas, good job, I guess, and like TV shows, good job. I'm just like, there was literally like, it was just a lot, people. There was just a lot. So hang on, try to keep up with me because rewind if you need to. I'm just going to kind of plow through this really fast. All right, what happened? Max, our dashing we're in college now. Max, our dashing college cheater who writes all these papers and gets people things, fell in love with this girl, wants Veronica Mars to find this girl. We think this girl is from Poughkeepsie. How do we get a hold of her? We've got the phone number, not the message. Well, literally in two scenes, ladies and gentlemen, she's found out that the roommates of Max have hired a prostitute to spend the night with him and abscond with his virginity so that he would have more confidence around women and maybe feel better about things. And turns out he has been pining away from her and they are over this. So they went to a coworker who had a phone from near Poughkeepsie and sent the text messages about, I'm sick and tired of waiting for you to call. I'm leaving you forever. So the two scenes, the roommates tell this to him and he's like, I don't care. I still want you to find out who this hooker was. So prostitute, sex worker, they kept using the word hooker. I'm going to try to use sex worker. Forgive me if I fail in that. So Veronica Mars still tries to find out who this sex worker is. The roommates take her to the Google online, book your sex worker site. And they find two women who might be the one that stayed the night with him, and they book them both, and they wait to see who shows up at the door. The first woman shows up, it's not her. The second woman shows up, it is her. Yay, love and happiness. Veronica and her boyfriend Logan sit on the couch and snuggle, while the girl, whose name was Chelsea, and now we find out it's really Wendy and Max totally make out on the couch. So they make out on the couch. Oh, by the way, side note, the movie that is showing, so they're all watching a movie theoretically while they wait, and then they're watching a movie while Wendy/Chelsea and Max make out. The movie that they're watching is Emma Thompson's Sense and Sensibility, directed by Ang Lee, which I just have to say is one of the most perfect movies ever, and I know you agree with me.
Well, and I think Rob Thomas agrees with you.
Also very important, Rob, call me up. We can talk about this. So they do that. They figure it out. Wendy is a prostitute, a sex worker. Max is still in love. Wendy wants to leave it all behind, and she's going to, but alas, the next day it turns out that she can't leave it all behind. She can't because her coworker friend, other sex worker, comes in, and her coworker is beat up because the pimp is like, you're coming back. I own you. If you don't come back, I'm going to beat the snot out of this other woman forever and forever, and it'll all be your fault. And so she's like, I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah. She needs $1,000 from what she would have gotten from Max the night before. So she owes $1,000, and she's got to go away forever. So Max gives her the money. But not before Wendy lets it slip that she knows the funky stuff that a judge does in town. Max is inconsolable. Veronica Mars tries to console him.
Yeah.
And Veronica Mars finds out that it was just purple makeup. The other sex worker wasn't beat up. She was just faking it. They were running a scam the whole time. Curse them.
Which she figures out because the other sex worker left behind the ice pack that she had pressed to her face, and the towel is covered with the purple makeup.
Exactly.
Okay.
Good point. Good call, Heard. So they're like, you know what? We're going to blackmail her and get your money back. So they blackmail her. They leave a message.
No. They blackmail the
judge.
Sort
You're
of.
right. They blackmail the judge. That way they'll get their money back, and the judge will no longer be a client of Wendy's. So they are getting his money back and hurting Wendy. Turns out, though, The judge calls the madam. It's not a pimp. It's a madam. The madam sends some intimidating guys to go pick up Veronica and Max and intimidate them. And it's just like, look, it costs a lot of money. I gave her braces. I put her up in a house, yada, yada,
I got rid of her tattoos.
I got rid of her tattoos. And so so she's just like, if you want out, you're going to have to pay me $10,000. That's how much you owe me. And Max, without even thinking about it, says, yes, absolutely. I'll give you $10,000. And that's it. Congratulations. True love wins. They're happy together and everything is fine, except it's not. Because people know that she was a stripper and people know that she was a hooker. And now he knows that she was actually a prostitute and he can't actually feel good about it. And so they end up breaking up in the end. There's a couple scenes of true love and then it just all falls apart and she goes back to stripping and has vowed to pay him back by giving him all of her earnings for a while. So she sends him an envelope of She sends him an envelope of $1,000, all in singles, all vertically folded. So clearly she's back stripping and she's back in the life, which is a little sad.
Yeah.
So there you go. I think this is why we have to we don't do percentage points, people. We don't do percentage points. We don't do half games. We don't do moral victories. So Jessica had a couple things right. Like you had the whole sorority girl shakedown, the Vassar sorority girl shakedown thing happening. But here's the thing. Again, it was a madam. It was a madam who also involved another sex worker and got her into it. And they were all doing some kind of shakedown on him just to embezzle him. And that was exactly correct. Now, you were wrong in the specifics. Vassar had nothing to do with any of this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was just a friend with a cell phone.
Yeah, that was just a friend with a cell phone from New York.
And I guess you could say that they're a sorority in that as a group of women is the loose definition of that.
But they weren't your deltas.
Yeah, and they're not, democratically. The madam is not a democratically elected leader, which is generally the case in sororities.
She is not the house mother. Well, I mean, she's the house mother, but she ain't looking out for their best interests.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, it's a Cylon thing. That she's not gonna be who she says he is, and they're gonna shake him down for some money, and he's gonna have to sell a Dave Gibbons thing. Well, I mean, he didn't have to sell a Dave Gibbons anything.
That never came up again.
That never came up. It really
Neither
was.
did Battlestar Galactica.
It really was just a bunch of jokes at the expense of nerds straight up at the top of the show, which, I mean, I suppose, but Rob Thomas, why you gotta do me like that? Why gotta do me like that, Rob Thomas? But she did, the whole Cylon thing, people aren't who they appear to be.
Yeah,
they're faking everything.
True.
That was true. And they did embezzle him
a
couple different times for money, and he did end up having to give up a lot
$10,000
to free her from this blackmail that was happening. So that happened, but again, not really. Dave Gibbons wasn't really involved, and so neither of us got that right. Well played, Veronica Mars.
And you said it was a boyfriend.
I did have the boyfriend in there, and
needed to get paid off or something.
Yeah. It was a point. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. Even the pimp wasn't really a male.
In the vicinity.
Maybe. I mean, thank you. Thank you. I guess I'll take that. But just because I stayed inside the foul lines doesn't mean it's a base hit. They did play us with the gender thing. Yeah, the gender flip for the madam versus the stereotypical male pimp. Well done. Yeah, they played on our gender. Oh yeah, played on our stereotypes. Absolutely, 100%. So good job on that. Yeah. So, but once again, we walk away with a loss. Yes. Doesn't feel good, Herd. Doesn't feel good at all.
And one of these days, I'm going to say aliens, and it's going to be aliens.
Okay, but there was the second story. The murder of the dean did not get resolved. Nope. There were maybe 3 scenes about this. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Jessica has convinced me of the wisdom of not spoiling an entire season-long arc. But we can say, and we will say, that of course we were absolutely completely wrong. It had nothing to... I mean, if you really thought that the Toga Taylors had really any kind of money out on Ed Begley Jr. or the sausage somethings of Sausalito. Yes. The original sausage kings of Sausalito. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. That we all kind of knew that was a throwaway for me right there. Yeah. All right. So there you go. That's what happened there. Woo! Feeling a little burned by Veronica Mars. Not burned. That was a good show. Yeah, I like that show. There's nothing to be burned on that. I'm just so competitive. I want to win. Herd. All right. I think you're up. Tell us about the IMDb's. please.
All right. Well, Kristen Bell, we just got to talk about her. She's a fantastic actress. Fantastic. That's my Midwestern. Well, I don't know where that comes from because I am not. I'm from Northern California. Thank you very much. Okay. She is from Michigan. And
is she?
Yeah, when she was but a girl of 13, her mom secured her an agent. So she started doing commercials. She played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz in high school. And she went to Catholic school. She went to NYU to Tisch, which I knew because it was like a big deal that year when I was in New York working for Tisch. Everyone was like, oh my God, Kristen Bell. Because she had left to play Becky and Tom Sawyer. And then from there, she was in The Crucible with Liam Neeson on Broadway. And from there, she moved to LA and got Veronica Mars, which was huge.
Right.
So, yeah.
Good show.
And she was undergrad. She was very young at that time. Anyway, we know she's now gone on to The Good Place. She plays the lead in Frozen.
Sure.
She plays opposite.
That's the thing. It's definitely a two-hander. So yeah. Give her the lead.
She was in Gossip Girl. She had a major.
She was in Gossip Girl?
Yeah, huge.
Oh wow.
She was in House of Lies and so much more.
So much more. She will always be Arizona trash to me. I stand The Good Place.
The Good Place.
Yes.
Yeah. So one of the things that's interesting about this show is that a lot of the people that have worked on it, Rob Thomas when he creates a show, like everybody that's worked for him, you see them
he's got
all
his crew, yeah.
in the credits. Or alternately, you see them all on shows that are like in the sci-fi realm. So the guy Jason Dohring, who plays her boyfriend in Logan in
right.
season 3.
Which, by the way, I have to go back and figure out the arc between like Logan douchebag in season 1 and Logan boyfriend in season 3. Like, I just want to find. As an aside, I'm totally curious about that.
Yeah, I would be excited about that too.
Tell me about him.
He was on Moonlight, which was a vampire show.
Oh my goodness.
The director of this episode also directed for that show. And then he was also on Baywatch. He's currently on SEAL Team.
So who else we got?
Yeah, so Francis Capra plays Weevil, the sort of badass maintenance guy.
Yeah, he was a member of a motorcycle gang in the first season. Now he works in the maintenance team at the college. Sure.
That guy has, according to his bio, did have a hard life.
Oh wow.
He was discovered in the Bronx. He was living in the Bronx. His dad, I think, has been in jail, or was, I don't know, in jail for quite a bit of his life. And he was discovered by the guys who produced A Bronx Tale.
Oh, Charles Palminteri and whatever his production team is. Yeah, Robert De Niro was definitely yeah.
So I was like, oh, hey, that's pretty cool. That's interesting. And then a bunch of seasons on Veronica Mars, very cool. And oh, crazy! Maybe everybody knows this, but Enrico Colantoni.
I can't help you with that one.
he plays Keith Mars. Yeah. He plays the dad.
Sure.
Canadian.
Canadians. You Maple Leaf loving Canucks.
And you probably remember him. He was one of the ensemble in Just Shoot Me.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes, absolutely. He totally was.
So great. He was also in Galaxy Quest, which I had totally forgotten. Like,
he plays. He's so
freaking familiar.
He is the aliens come to Earth, and he plays one of the, like, he's the human skin on the aliens as they represent, I think, themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to say about Rob Thomas, writer and creator, that he started his first writing credits. The first one was a show called Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yes. Yes.
You've heard of this?
Oh my gosh, yes, it was a huge hit on the Cartoon Network. They would take old Hanna-Barbera cartoons and they mocked and they parodied the late night format. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. So that was his first thing. And then after that, he did an episode or maybe 2 of Dawson's Creek. And then he hit it so big as the creator of Cupid with Jeremy Piven.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah. And then Party Down.
All 7 episodes of it.
Yeah, it did. And it came back for a second, a reboot.
They did a reboot, and it also didn't work.
But conceptually, like, tight. Apparently, otherwise, why would you do that? He also nailed it with Party Down, although some people would say, really? That's not that big of a show. But it's kind of a cult favorite.
And by cult, she means hers. It is one of her favorite shows. She really likes it.
Liked it, even though it didn't.
Yes.
Maybe it's just the Paul Rudd halo. I don't know. Veronica Mars, of course, and then iZombie, and he just wrote and produced the TV adaptation of The Lost Boys, 1987.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh my Lord, has that come out yet? Have we missed that?
Well, it said on IMDb that it was like 2020, but it's 2021. I don't remember anything other than a trailer for this, so
my Lord.
I guess I need to look it up.
We are absolutely looking that up because that is too good to miss. I didn't know that. That is fabulous. Okay.
Also, I want to give a shout out to the hairstylist. Because the hairstylist in this show, hot damn.
Lit.
Like so
Such
many
good hair.
hairdos. Like every single scene is something else.
And we're not talking little things here, people. Like there is so much hair happening in this episode and in all the Veronica Mars episodes. Yes, well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Who was the hairdresser?
So Michelle Weiss is her name.
Michelle, well done.
Yeah.
Golf clap for Michelle. Very good, Michelle.
She's been working, she hasn't worked since 2008, according to...
I hope that's because you're enjoying a well-deserved retirement.
Yes. She worked on Arsenio, Melrose Place, and she was the hairstylist on Erin Brockovich.
Nice.
And she did 20 episodes of Veronica Mars.
She knows how to sling a can of hairspray.
Yeah, she's really good, and good vision and lots of creativity. And I mean, she has had to work her ass off for this show because, like I said, every single scene, it's something else
is going on.
Which is not usual for a hairstylist. Usually you're like...
Yeah, you find your look for the season and then you're done.
Yeah. But that is not the case here. I mean, they did different things with Veronica's bangs. I was like, oh, that's sort of like the first scene, but the bangs look different. So it's a different look.
Yeah.
Like, God dang.
Well done.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. There you have it. Great show. A lot of fun. We're going to check out some more episodes of it because... frankly, I want to get to the point where we can watch Patton Oswalt in season 4 on Hulu and know what's going on. By the way, I wonder how meta it was at the end there. Like, I have to go back and look at the dates on when they brought Patton Oswalt on. But at that point, was Patton Oswalt's wife actually doing the Golden State Murderer podcast where she was really searching down a real murderer and he was off doing this TV show about fake crimes?
Yeah, right.
We have asked Siri, and Siri, in her infinite algorithm wisdom, has said that Arrow is up next. Season 3, episode 8. Do we have a title for the episode?
Okay, it's called The Brave and the Bold.
Ooh, sounds soapy. All right. There you go. Thank you so much for guessing along with us. Let us know how you did with this. And until next time, I'm wrong, and she's also usually wrong.
Yep. See you next time. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate it.
And now we want to hear from you.
Tell us your guesses, your scores,
your insider info, your favorite Logic cop catches,
and your suggestions for what shows we should watch next.
Follow us and join the fun on Twitter and Facebook at Cluedunnit.
Or on Instagram at Cluedunnit Podcast.
Rate us and review us on Apple Podcasts to help get the word out.
Because watching TV is always better with friends.
A long time ago, we used to be friends. How long a time ago was it, do you suppose? I mean, time is relative, right? Like a long time ago we used to be friends. Are we talking like days, weeks, months, years, or just seconds? I mean, like, if something really major happens, like if somebody dumps you, like all of a sudden the world has irrevocably changed. It seems like they're operating more for like poetry as opposed to actual like real time stuff.
Yeah.
Real time stuff. That is a technical term. As always, we are nothing if not precise on this podcast.